Hello everyone, and welcome to Land and Sea DIY. In this episode you'll see a little bit of the land side of our channel, that having to do with yard maintenance, home maintenance, and whatnot. What you're seeing here in this box is a ShelterLogic shed in a box. It's a 10 by 10 outdoor storage shed that we've had for years, and what we're doing here is replacing the 3 panels that go on it. This is a UV treated fabric cover that's waterproof and fade proof. But here in South Florida, it doesn't last probably for more than a year and a half. Some of the tie down straps comes with it. There are 3 or 4 different levels of quality that you can get, thickness. Basically, it's like a heavy tarp. And in our case, we get the more inexpensive one, which needs to be changed out in our part of the country. It's very hot and humid here in South Florida. The sun just eats it away. We need to change it out about every year and a half. So here we are changing this out. It's pretty simple to do with 2 people. You do sort of need 2 people, but it can be done with 1 person. But it's much easier with 2. Basically 3 panels, 1 on each end. One has a zippered side, the other side is just solid, and then there's the one that goes all the way around. And here you see Greg loosening the bolts to be able to remove the interconnecting locking system, and so that we could take it off. And we'll probably start with the main portion first. You see us pulling out the tubes here and the sleeves. Now we're going to slide that panel right off, and then we're going to start on the rear panel here in a second. In a second here, you're going to see me bonk my head pretty good.
Ow! That hurt.
Yeah, that actually looked worse than it felt. It hurt, but you know, what's a little concussion, right? The work has to get done, so let's keep moving on. I was fine. In any case, you see here we got the back panel off, and we're going to first install that rear panel. I'm putting it around. It kind of just wraps around, goes through a hole on each side there, and then you cinch it tight. You see there how the tube goes through that hole, and then it connects, and then you just screw it right back in. And tighten everything up, and then we're gonna do the front panel here, which was kind of the same. This time though, we didn't take it all apart, and that way the frame isn't left undone completely. So Greg's going to do the top in the center, and then we'll do one side at a time. See, this is the zippered side, so the entrance, and the back panel does not have zippers. Those are the ratchet straps, and that's some of the connecting tubes. And we measure with the measuring tape to make sure it's all square, so that it fits properly. It makes it a lot easier to get it up and around when it's square, or as square as possible. Greg pulling on the ratchet tight tensioning system, and that makes sure the cover is tight and neat looking, and it keeps the wind from flapping it around. It's pretty sturdy. We have some pretty good windstorms down here, and this thing is held up even in tropical storms. The only time we take the covers down is if we have a hurricane coming, and naturally that's just too much for it, of course. But that tensioning system does a good job of keeping it in there tight, and it's integral to keeping it all together. One of the reasons why having 2 people is recommended to put this thing up. It's easy to do, but it helps to have 2 people. I'm pushing on one side here while Greg is tightening little by little, and it's important to have it evenly tightened around it, or as evenly as you can get it. And if possible, you try to have your second person not be vertically challenged like I am. I'm too short to even reach that top bar here, and but I do my best. And Greg has to come over here and kind of save me. But yeah, 2 people is recommended, and it makes it just a heck of a lot easier to do. Here you see the accessible, the one accessible double zipper door panel, and I'm opening it up here so that I can roll it up. We have a large piece of rebar that goes through the bottom there. We put that in there. It doesn't come with that, but we recommend it because it adds weight to that panel and keeps it down. And here you see us putting back, before we tighten everything, we're putting the bars back in. There's 4 total, 2 on each side. Here's the other side. You just kind of slide it through these sleeves, and that's what's going to hold it all together, just like you saw it taken apart. It goes right back together the same way. If you're an existing subscriber, we want to say thank you and welcome back. We really do appreciate that. But if this is the first time you're here and you're new to the channel, we would like to invite you to subscribe if you enjoy this content. So please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell so that you don't miss anything in the future. We're almost at 500 subscribers as of this video, and we're excited to hit that milestone. So join us on our YouTube journey. Baby, you don't even know your own strength.
I hope I didn't push it off the end. I probably did. Alright, so we've got all these little bars on, attached to their brackets loose. Okay, so we've got all of these bottom bars through the sleeves, and they're all just hand tightened into the brackets here. And now we just got to kind of center up the tarp on each side and go ahead and tighten them down. And then we've got these anchors for wind loads, or for wind. The frames shift a little bit putting the new tarp on. Honestly, with the old tarp it wasn't quite square, so we're gonna have to just adjust these tie downs later after we get everything tightened down, and then we'll adjust the tie downs.
So the reason you see us continually checking to see if it's square, the frame is square, is that it is important. You wouldn't think so for a little, shed like this, but it is important mostly because of the zippers. You want them to line up with as little tension as possible. And when we replaced the tarp not too long ago, we were not as careful that second time, and sure enough, the zippers were under a great amount of stress and tension, and eventually one side did give way and it tore. Small detail, but it goes a long way in maintaining the longevity of the shed overall. So here you see me kind of pushing the panel up over the bar, and that's to get a nice tight fit, or as tight as possible, So it takes a little bit of finagling. I kind of push up and over the bar, and Greg is on the other side kind of pulling on it. And he comes around here, and you'll see that we then, just little by little, we ratchet each side, and you can see how it comes up and over and pulls tightly, cinches tightly, and yeah, easy. Here it's easy to see just how that cinching works. The back panel cinches up and over the bar towards the inside of the shed, and the top panel, as you can see, comes up and over the bar and cinches on the outside with its own ratchet system there. And with that, it's remarkably waterproof. Yeah, we haven't had any issues with water in the shed when it's in good condition like this. And here we're adjusting again to make sure that the zippers fit properly. And we're preparing to cinch the top portion around the front here, and that also helps to draw in the shed's metal frame, which releases any tension on those zippers, which is what's important to us this time around. So as we wrap this little project up here, if you're interested in a shed in a box like this one, we've included a link in the description below, and I'll give you the dimension. The assembled dimensions are 10 by 10 by 8. The interior dimensions are 9'11" by 9'9" by 7'11" inches. The door width is 5' 2 inches. The door height is 6' 9 inches for a total square footage of 100 square feet. So please leave a comment below and let us know. Do you have one of these? Have you ever had any issues with one? Would you have done anything differently? Yeah, I mean, let us know, and also hit the like button if this content was something that you liked, and definitely subscribe. We're almost at that 500 mark, so we're really hoping to hit that milestone. In the meantime, enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one.